Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm happy that you chose to visit me today. If you're new here, my name is Sandra. This is the day before Thanksgiving, and so I decided to drag out my bread maker. And to be honest, I use this bread making machine more to knead my dough than I actually use it to bake bread in. It's very handy for that and works great. But my intentions is to fix some pizza dough in this bread machine today, and I plan on dividing it up into two separate halves, and I'll be putting it in a bag and putting it in the freezer so that after the holiday's over, say Monday or Tuesday, I can get one out of the freezer, let it thaw, and have a quick lunch. How was your Thanksgiving, by the way? Mine was really great. I got to meet with family, and it was nice, all of us getting together. We all enjoyed it. Our time is always precious to us when we're able to get together. Me and my two other sisters live further away, and my mom's house is the hub that we all meet together for important holidays. But it was good food. We all had a great time. It was so fun watching my grandbabies play with my sister's grandbabies, and it was just really precious. I like being able to raise the lid on this bread maker as it's in the process of kneading the dough. It allows me to see how my dough is coming together, and if I need to make adjustments to it as I go, I can. I might need to add a little more flour, maybe just another little tablespoon or two of water, and it's just really convenient. I used to have one of the large KitchenAid mixers, and that was always what I used for my pizza dough when my kids were at home. And it was one of those that the bowl would raise up and down. It wasn't the one that had the tilt head, but it was such a nice mixer, and it was expensive, but it worked really well for what I get for it. It's very dependable. After my daughter-in-law and son and their kids moved out, I told her to take that home with her because I rarely use it for anything now that the kids are all gone off, and she still has little kids at home, and I knew it would be more of a blessing to her and useful to her to have it. So I told her when she moved out to take it home with her and enjoy it. She likes to make cinnamon rolls, pizza doughs. She's real big into the baking and stuff, so I know that mixer will be handy for her. What you see here is a silicone mat that I've rolled out to place my dough on, and I'm just lightly sprinkling a little bit of flour to keep the dough from sticking to it a little bit, and it just makes it easier to handle the dough. My bread machine kneaded the dough for about 8 to 10 minutes, I believe. So now I'm just removing the dough from the pan over to my mat. My dough turned out just slightly stickier than what I usually make it. I like to get it where I can just pull it out of the pan without it really sticking to my fingers, but it was just slightly sticky this time, but it was still okay. I could still manage it. So I'm just going to shape this dough into a round ball and coat it in a little bit of the flour to make it easier to handle. And I have a kitchen scale here in a moment that I'm going to weigh the dough with after I've divided the dough into two equal parts. When I go to divide my dough, I just eyeball it where it looks like it would be equal halves, and that's where this scale comes in handy. I can weigh each section to make sure that they're pretty close to the same weight. and that way we'll get the same size crust with each one of them, and won't have one large crust and one real small one. And I got this one pretty close on the first try, so yay me. I'm just kidding. But now I'm just going to roll each section into a little ball, and I'm going to get it ready to put in the freezer bag to store in the freezer. Using a permanent marker, I'll just write pizza dough on the outside of each one of these bags, and which it's easy to see what's in the bag, but I primarily like doing this so that I can put the date that I actually put it in the freezer. Once I get my Ziploc bags ready, I like to put a little bit of olive oil in each bag. When I went to pour the olive oil in this first bag, I accidentally poured a little bit much. So I just took one dough and rolled in it and placed it in the other bag, and then put the second dough in here and rolled it around in the oil as well, because there was plenty enough oil for both of them in that one bag. And it worked out fine this way. I like to press out my dough a little bit rather than leave it in the ball shape. It just makes it quicker to thaw out. And here I'm just squeezing all the air out of the bag and getting it ready to go in the freezer. On this rainy Monday, I got out and went to the Dollar Tree. You could see the rain speckles on my shirt where I had just got home. It had really rained hard that day. But as I was saying, I went to the Dollar Tree and I picked me up some of these fake poinsettias, and I'm going to replace the little flowers that I have in my farmhouse milk can that I have sitting on the sink for decoration with these poinsettias. And I picked up 4 bunches of the poinsettias, and as you'll see here in a minute, I picked up 2 of the golden picks. They're kind of glittery and shiny and really pretty. I would have liked to have at least 2 more, but they only had those 2. So I just went ahead and picked up what they had. And right here, I'm just taking off all the little stickers. And I'll go ahead and speed this up so you don't have to sit and watch me take every one of those off. So here is the little milk can that I was talking about, and I'm going to remove the old flowers, and I just put those in a grocery bag and wrap them back up, and if they're good enough shape, next time I go to use them, I just wash them off a little bit in the sink and let them air dry, and they're good as new again. Here with these little gold pig sets, I only have 2. A little trick I do is bend each little stem in the opposite direction of the main stem, and it just gives it a little bit of a fuller look whenever you put them in your container. Next, I'm just going to put the poinsettias straight in like they are. As I place them in the can, I'll try to spread the little blossoms out from one another and bush them out a little bit. But you know, it's clear and easy to see that I'm not very good at this, but I just do the best I can. And thankfully, I don't have anybody to satisfy around here except for myself. While I was at the Dollar Tree, I also found this little red and black checkered ribbon, and so I thought I'd put that on the milk can as well to add a little extra decoration to it. And after I got it on there, I thought it looked pretty good. When I was at the Dollar Tree, I also found this little plastic lantern. It was only like $5. Of course, you had to supply your own batteries, but it's still so pretty. On this morning, I decided to fix me a breakfast pizza. I had took one of my pizza doughs that I had frozen and laid it down in the fridge to thaw overnight. And then I laid it on my counter for a little while to come to room temperature a little bit, and it just makes it more manageable when you work the dough. Right here I have a Betty Crocker pizza maker. It's just a little pizza oven. And so I've cut me a little parchment paper to fit inside of the pizza maker, and it just makes cleanup easier. But the parchment paper also serves as a little guide for how wide to pat out the dough. I'm just patting out my dough and trying to make it even across and trying to make it resemble a circle. And after I get it patted out, I'll go in and I'll form a little ridge around the edge of the crust. And what that purpose serves is when I go to pour my scrambled eggs on top of this crust to keep it from overflowing the crust. I'm going to crack a couple of large eggs into this measuring cup. Sometimes I'll use 3, but typically I'll just use 2. And I'll use my fork and beat those eggs and break them down really well. I'm going to set these eggs aside for the moment, and I'm going to move over to my pizza maker, get it plugged up, and I usually allow it to preheat for about 10 minutes. I bought this small pan at Walmart. I think it was the Mainstays brand, and it's fairly cheap, but it works great as a pizza peel for transferring this pizza over into the pizza maker. So I've placed my dough on top of the pizza pan, and now I'm pouring my scrambled egg mixture on the dough, and I'm just going to gently take a fork and spread that egg mixture all over the pizza dough. Next, I'm going to top the egg mixture with this shredded cheese blend. And last but not least, some real bacon pieces. Sometimes I like to have different toppings on my breakfast pizza. I have done sausage and scrambled egg before. I've also done like green peppers, mushrooms, onions, typically a veggie breakfast pizza. So there's a lot of options you can do to make this suit your taste and what you like. The pizza maker has preheated, and now I'm just going to slide my pizza over into the maker, and that's where this parchment paper comes in so handy because it just slides right off the pan. I ordered this Betty Crocker pizza maker from Walmart. I'll leave a link below in case anyone's interested in checking it out. It's really handy. I've used it to bake frozen biscuits in. Really, it's just a little oven, so you can do a lot of different things with it besides just pizza. About 10 minutes later, I'll lift the lid and the pizza is done. So it's ready to be removed, cut, and served up. that's all I have for today's video. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you all guys in the next video.